I never thought that betrayal could come not from the outside, but from within, from the person closest to you, the one you trust more than yourself. It all started with an email I received on a Monday morning. No subject, no signature, just an attachment. A photograph in which I recognized my sister and my best friend. They were sitting in a cafe holding hands, and there was something in their eyes that left no room for doubt. I reread the email over and over, trying to find an explanation. Maybe it was someone's cruel joke, maybe just a coincidence. But the longer I stared at the picture, the clearer it became. This was no accident. I remembered how lately my sister had grown distant, while my friend, on the contrary, started showing up at our place more and more often, as if by chance. I began replaying all our conversations, gestures, glances in my mind, and suddenly realized I had been blind. Something inside me clenched tight. I didn't know what to do. Confront them? Pretend nothing had happened? Or just disappear from their lives so I wouldn't stand in the way of their happiness? I felt like an extra in my own story, as if I'd been written out of the script I myself had created. I spent the whole day wandering the city, ignoring calls, avoiding people. I was afraid to go home, afraid to see them together, afraid to hear the truth. But even more, I was afraid of myself, of who I would become if I dared to have an honest conversation. In the evening, I finally returned home. The keys trembled in my hand, as if I were opening the door to a stranger's apartment. Inside, it was quiet. Only the kitchen light was on. I found my sister at the table. She was scrolling through something on her phone, not noticing me. I stood in the doorway for a long time, unable to speak, but she suddenly looked up and met my gaze. There was no fear or guilt in her eyes, only exhaustion. "Did you want something?" she asked, as if there were no photograph, no email, no chasm between us. I sat down across from her, not knowing where to begin. Words caught in my throat, thoughts tangled. I wanted to accuse, to shout, to ask why, but instead I quietly asked, "Are you happy?" She was silent for a long time, then nodded. I felt something break inside me. I didn't ask about my friend, didn't demand explanations. Everything was clear without words. I realized I couldn't fight for what was no longer mine, couldn't keep people close just because I was afraid to be alone. That night, I packed my things and left. Not to punish them or myself, but because I saw no other way. I wandered the city for hours, remembering moments when things could still have been changed, when I could have been more attentive, more honest, braver. But the past can't be rewritten. Now I live alone, and every day I'm learning to trust people, and myself, all over again. Sometimes I think I've become stronger. Sometimes I think I've just learned to hide the pain better. I don't know if I've forgiven them, and I'm not sure I ever will. But I'm no longer a bystander in my own life. I take steps, even if I don't know where they'll lead. The ending to this story is open. I don't know what awaits me next, but for the first time in a long while, I feel that the choice is mine.